We are absolutely ready, Parkrun Director. We are at Battersea Parkrun again, and after many requests, we are back doing the Stay with the Leader challenge, my first video from a year ago to get a good number of views. You can see just ahead of me, Mr. Nick Besser has turned up, so I'm going to have to go out very close to my 1 kilometer PB, which is a 2:50. And I would imagine in the opening few hundred meters, more like 2:30, 2:40. So this is going to hurt very quickly. How long can we stay with him? 500 meters, 1 kilometer, a mile at a massive push. Let's go find out. Bearing in mind, my 5k PB is a 17:24. Nick, I reckon's probably going for a sub 15 today to be the first person to do it at Battersea. Let's go. We are underway trying to follow turquoise top through, but we are squeezed out. A little bit of shoulder margin just ahead. Body warmer also moving through on my line, and there just isn't any room for me. I see a gap. I think I can squeeze through.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's all gone wrong. I've caused a slight kerfuffle. I thought there was room, but I did nudge into him, and I did apologise for that. Mr. It's Only Parkrun does move alongside me briefly again, and then I decide, well, maybe I can get back up to Nick. I have a slight little surge, move over to the left, but I'm not sticking myself where I don't belong again. I'm already 6 or 7 seconds behind the leader, and I'd look like a massive bell end if I did, as I'd probably only last about 300 meters if I surged from here. So I decided to ease off and see if I could just go for a good time instead, as I was feeling really quite good. I am debuting my brand new overlays today that my wonderful girlfriend helped code for me, along with good old Pepe that some of you may know. Haven't managed to get the timer working down the bottom right yet, but we have managed to get the actual time of day working, and luckily this parkrun started at exactly 9:06 AM, so that should make for some pretty easy tracking. And of course, I'll put up the 1 kilometer splits, which hopefully will be automatic at some point. Towards the bottom left of the screen, you can also see the last lap and best lap. I'm trying to make that do 1 kilometer splits automatically, but at the moment, it's just showing 1 lap of the park from the start, which will be about 2.4 kilometers, so we can also look at that and gauge how quick I'm going. I was obviously trying to go off way quicker than I normally would, so now I am falling back in a lovely, humbling experience, after I managed to stay with the leader for a grand total of 0 meters. What on earth's going on here? It's the Parkrun Tempo Police, everyone! The lads doing tempo parkruns in the middle of their 30-kilometer long runs have come to arrest me for my sins against parkrun today. I'm sorry, take me away, officers. Look at them streaming through. I'm sorry, I'll never do a challenge video ever again. But thankfully, they've just let me get away with a caution, and the first kilometer, a 3:33. They have told me if I don't break my 18:16 Battersea PB, I will be arrested. And I have half an eye on my best 5k time at an official race in Battersea at 17:38. So let's get our focus on and see how high up that passion meter we're going to have to go to make that happen. 1.2k in, we're hovering around 325, 330 per kilometer, and it's feeling not too bad at the moment. I've got the Adios Pro 4s on that I did my recent half marathon PB in. You can watch that video up the top right, and they are feeling sublime at this speed. I think these are definitely going to be my go-to shoes for everything half marathon and below, and I might even size up for the full marathon. Most people around me at the moment are still too quick for me. I'm still gradually falling back, but I'm feeling pretty in control. 1.5 kilometers in, and tracksuit bottoms is the first one I see that I'm like, I think maybe you're a little bit closer to my speed than the rest of you. Let's see if I can keep him within my sights.
Thank you.
Thank you to the parkrun volunteers for helping us avoid that icy death trap just to the left. And yes, I have managed to get myself back up behind tracksuit bottoms, and I'm using him to pace me along for now. My heart rate, 165. We've still got a good chunk of the passion meter left to go. And as a few people have said, I probably should rename it to the passionometer.
Thank you.
More wonderful volunteers standing on top of some slippery patches. There's 2 kilometers, a 3:35, so we are very much hovering around 18 flat, maybe just below 18 pace. I was hoping for a little bit more, but we'll have a little look at the split when we come through the first lap at 2.4 kilometers. And there's the first lap over at an 8:22.9, which, putting into a calculator, is actually 3:30 per kilometre. What's going on here then? Well, on Strava, it didn't really record any speed for the first 14 seconds, so it looks like I'm going to be recording and finishing probably at about 4.95 kilometres, so I'm actually going a little bit quicker than the Strava splits, which means I'm not far away from that 17:38 Battersea PB, but the pace up the top left, 3:40 per kilometre, my heart rate's now getting to 180. It's starting to hurt and I'm going to have to grind it out now. And staying with tracky bottoms is getting harder and harder. Finishing funnel that we get to go down next lap, but another whole lap to go. But it's only around 8 minutes of running. We can do it. Tracky bottoms has just moved past lime green headscarf now, and we've also got green top joining the party. And I am sat there just thinking about my next move. I'm hoping they sort of all start working together a little bit, but it looks like someone's probably going to make a move, and then I see it. Green top is definitely the one that can take me to something special here. Look at his cadence picking up. He is going for a strong finish, but it was really starting to hurt, and as we were approaching the dreaded 4th kilometre, I just really didn't think I had it in me to go with him for another 2 kilometres, and I was ready for now just to stick with tracky bottoms. There's the 3rd kilometre, and I saw this on my watch when I looked down, a 3:39, and this was not what I wanted. That's 18 pace, not 17 pace, but look at my heart rate now. It's still climbing 188, 189, 190, 192. That is my max heart rate. We are off the chart on the passionometer. Tracky bottoms and me going past lime green top now, or at least thinking about it. If I want a crack at that 17:38, I'm gonna have to go with him, and he looks behind him, and yes, I'm still there. I'm coming with you, my friend. This is going to require D-Mills levels of passion to get there. And I'm actually thinking about taking the lead now. I can see green top slightly ahead. I kind of wish I did make the move with him, but I decided against it at the time, and we're just going to have to live with that decision. Tracky bottoms is matching every move at the moment as we head towards the final mile. And pretty much bang on, as we hit a mile to go, I make my move and hammer it down for home. My heart rate definitely being a little bit glitchy here. It's apparently come down to 176. That is very much not true. My monitor's usually pretty spot on, but in the cold weather, it does make a few little errors. This is very early for me to shoot for home, especially after I haven't done a particularly slow opening couple of kilometers. It's not a progression run. I've gone out quickly, trying to go for a quick time. And the 4th kilometer is where I nearly always usually die, dropping about 10 seconds on the average pace. We can't afford for that to happen today. I am working ever so hard. 3:25 per kilometre, according to the GPS, is always a little bit dodgy at Battersea, so we will have to wait for the 4th kilometre split to see if that's anywhere near right. And there is the 4th kilometre. While not a 3:25, a 3:33, the joint level quickest of the whole park run. And for once, I've managed to pick the speed up in the 4th kilometre.
Well done. Thank you.
But will that be to a detriment of my usually rapid final kilometre where I break into the 3:20s, or at least hit around a 3:30? The breathing is laboured. The passion is strong. Can I get that 17:38? Which would coincide with the clock on the bottom right reaching 9:23 and 38 seconds. You can keep an eye out on the time as it winds up towards it. The final left-hand turn, and then it's the final straight for home with just a little left into the finishing funnel. So I should be able to start to extend my stride and hopefully pick that pace up. There's going to be a lot of people we're going to have to overtake on their first lap still on the left-hand side. So we're probably going to have to stick to the right of the path. A few death coughs starting to rattle out now. 3:25 per kilometre. I can see a guy in a burgundy top just ahead of me, and I'm trying to see if I can get anywhere close to him. He's taken the decision to go right at the Battersea roundabout, but we've got a jogger coming across our line. That could enter. Oh, we have just about made it through. And we have thankfully avoided any more contact today. 400 metres to go. Can I pick it up towards the 2s, or is this everything I've got currently? It's sounding tough out there, but I am managing to close that gap on Burgundy top. And thank you very much to that guy, because as soon as I got that little bit of support, go on all the way in, you can see that I picked things up. 3:20 per kilometre now. There is an awful lot of people on the left-hand side, so I'm not currently sure how I'm going to get over to the left to go into the finishing funnel, but we'll worry about that shortly. 3:15 per kilometre. 3:10 per kilometre. This is exactly what we want. There's a birthday party on the left-hand side, and I'm right with Burgundy top. Am I going to shoot straight past? You bet I am. We've got to finish in the next 30 seconds to get the job done. Can we push it even more? And thankfully, the left-hand side of the path opens up, and I can move on over. 3:05 per kilometre now. I've got no idea if White Top is on the lead lap, but I scurry through on the left of him. GPS annoyingly goes a little bit AWOL here, as I was definitely picking the pace up as it starts to drop me towards the 3:25s. We turn left into the finishing funnel. The final few metres home. Watch the clock. 33, 34, 35, 36. I think we have just about done it, but we'll have to wait for the official results. Yes, it's a 17:36 for a Battersea Parkrun PB and a Battersea 5k PB all in one. And that final kilometre was a 3:26. And that is actually my second quickest 5k of all time. Which, coming in the middle of marathon training with no taper at all, I am very happy with and confident I can start moving into the lower 17s with a little bit of a taper at some point. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Apologies again to Mr. Body Warmer at the start for our little altercation. Lesson learned, and I will see you guys on Wednesday, where D Mills is going to a brand new park run on the channel, Hove Promenade. You don't want to miss it.